Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. Today I have 3 amazing crock pot recipes. They are so simple to put together, very minimal ingredients, and they are delicious. So come along with me and let's get cooking. So I have already decided that this chicken pesto mozzarella pasta is going in my top favorites of crock pot meals. It was so good. I'm just starting off with 2 chicken breasts, heavily seasoning it with Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and then we're gonna go in with a layer of pesto. Now my pesto is already open and it was in the fridge, so it made it a little bit harder to spread out. I do have 6 ounces here and you need 8 ounces for this recipe, so I did have to open another container of pesto that was in my cabinet, and that spread out a whole lot easier. So I'm thinking if my pesto's in my fridge next time, I'm gonna set it out on the counter and get it to room temperature. But you're just gonna want to make sure that your chicken is fully coated with your pesto, evenly spread it out, because this is the base of this meal. And let me tell you what, this smelled so good. I started this about 2 o'clock and by the time it was done, my entire house smelled amazing. We're going to go in with 4 tablespoons of butter and then squeeze half of a lemon. Now you're going to place your lid on and go on low for 5 to 6 hours. And per usual, it's a trend in my videos that I mess up because I put this on high. So I cooked mine on high for 2 hours, but it was perfectly fine. Nothing burned. My chicken was nice and perfectly cooked. I'm just really glad that I checked it when I did. But as your chicken is cooking, the last 30 minutes or so, you're going to want to go ahead and start your pasta. I'm using the elbow macaroni. Now the cheese and everything didn't really stick to this pasta as well, so I might try a new pasta next time. But after the 2 hours, my chicken was cooked. I had already checked it just to make sure, but you're just going to use a spoon to shred this up. Add your pasta. Now my pasta did get a little dry because I had to make Blair's plate. Now I am adding in a little bit of the water from the pasta just to kind of get that pasta to not stick, and then you're just going to mix this together, add in some Parmesan and some mozzarella, and you're supposed to let this cook another 15 minutes just for that cheese to get melted down. But guys, I couldn't wait. I was so hungry, so I just stirred this together, made sure that it was all combined, and I went ahead and made my plate. Okay, if y'all thought last recipe was easy, just get ready because this one is even easier. This is one of those crock pot meals, if you don't have a lot of time and you're realizing, oh man, I forgot to set anything out for dinner, boom, easy. Throw this one in the crock pot for 2 hours on high or 3 to 4 hours on low, and you have dinner ready. So we're gonna start off with 1 cup of barbecue sauce. Now I don't feel like getting another bowl dirty, so you could technically add the barbecue sauce and the grape jelly together in a bowl to mix together, but I'm just gonna go ahead and add them all to the crock pot and then mix it up in there. So we're going to go in with 1 cup of grape jelly. All right, got our grape jelly, so go ahead and pour that in. I'm just gonna give that a stir to combine everything. And I have mine on low because I actually had time to leave from work and get this ready. So that's gonna combine some more. And then I'm just gonna go in with my bag of meatballs. This bag is actually technically open, but you're supposed to use 26 ounces. These meatballs are a decent size, so I'm just gonna use what I had and hope that it was enough. So dump those all in. We'll give it another stir, trying to coat everything. And you could definitely add seasonings to this. I'm gonna hold off on adding any seasoning because I've actually never had this barbecue sauce before, and I just wanna see what the barbecue sauce and the grape jelly taste like together before I add anything extra into it. So once you got everything stirred together and coated, we are just gonna put the lid back on. Again, I'm setting mine on low for 3 to 4 hours, or you could do high for 2 hours. Okay, sorry, I thought my mic was recording, but apparently it wasn't. So my meatballs have just been cooking for about 2.5 hours here. I am going to go in with a little bit of honey because I feel like the grape jelly kind of got settled down by the barbecue sauce, and I just wanted it to be a little bit sweeter. This is definitely an option you do not have to do, but go ahead and taste your meatballs and see how you like the taste. You could definitely add some seasonings here if you would like. I didn't add any salt and pepper or anything. I just kind of let the flavors of the barbecue sauce and the grape jelly make it its own. But I just served this up with some baked beans and these dinner rolls here. I'm just adding a little bit of butter and some honey. Popped these in the oven at 350 for just about 5 to 7 minutes or so, just so they could toast up and the butter could melt down. Just losing track of time. Our last recipe, we are making monkey bread. Now this is something I've never tried before, so I was excited to do this recipe. You're going to start with half a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar, and then 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I didn't measure out mine, I just kind of sprinkled it in there. Later on we will need a half cup of butter melted, but we're going to hold off on that. So just stir everything together until you get all the clumps out and make it a smooth consistency. Now for our biscuits, it calls for a 16 ounce of the Pillsbury Grand Original biscuits. Unfortunately, when I picked up my biscuits, I was doing it for another recipe and I got the butter biscuits because that's all they had. So I sent Sheldon back to the store to get another biscuits for this recipe, and again, all they have is the butter biscuits. So next time I do this, I would definitely say do the original because I feel like the butter biscuits change the consistency or the taste a little bit. But you're just going to dice them up into like 6 pieces or so. Once you have that diced up, here is where the butter comes into play. So again, a half cup of melted butter. You're just going to take each of your pieces of the biscuits, dip it into your butter, and then put it into our powdered sugar. Make sure that we have just put it into a Ziploc baggie. Once you are finished with this, you're just going to seal up your baggie and be very gentle on getting the coating all around because you don't want to smush the dough or anything, but just put it into your bag and shake it up a little bit, and then once it is fully coated, we are going to move on to the crock pot. To your crock pot, you're going to pour in the remaining amount of that butter and spray your crock pot with like olive oil or some kind of nonstick spray. Then you're going to put this on low for 2.5 hours. I'm just making sure that I'm coating the bottom, making sure everything is spread out and not on top of each other. And then after about 2.5 hours, everything is nice and done and gooey. And this tasted so good. I will definitely try it again, but with the original biscuits. Okay, we are going to go enjoy that monkey bread. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell to get all the notifications for the upcoming videos. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!